interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Good day, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another busy day in the markets with Dot Financial News. I'm Andrew as usual, and this is what's happening in the markets today, 15th of September, 2021. The US stock markets are expected to open to the upside today, but very shy still after yesterday's sell-off on Wall Street that sent the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq to the downside as investors remain anxious to the strength of the economic recovery. Crude oil WTI gained $2 since yesterday, trading as high as $71.70 on the European trading session today, as the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico still remain shut for the Hurricane Nicholas to pass. Analysts are expecting a draw of 3.54 million barrels for last week ahead of the crude oil inventories, which will be announced in about 1 hour from now. The euro and the pound marked solid gains today on the back of a weak US dollar as import prices declined sharply for the month of August, coming out negative 0.3% a few minutes ago and sending the US dollar to the downside. The US dollar index also traded to the downside on the European trading session, but the currency pair that suffered the most today was USD JPY, which tanked almost 109 flat as soon as the economic data was announced again minutes ago. The good news came for gold futures that traded a bit higher today, trading above the 1,800 mark for quite some time now. And Bitcoin and Ethereum marked little gains since yesterday, with Bitcoin trading at around 47,500 and Ethereum trading little above $3,400. Before we get started, I want to rest assure you that anything you hear or see during our live talk shows does not represent investment advice nor a solicitation to buy or sell contracts for difference or cryptocurrencies. Financial instruments are complex products that carry high risk, so you better do your own analysis before making any investment decision based on your own personal circumstances. From Europe to South Africa, from Limassol to Cape Town and London, this is Dot Financial News, guys. US markets open coming up. Once again, very good day, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the U.S. Markets Open. I have Neil Wilson joining us from the heart of London, Chief Market Analyst at Markets.com on this beautiful Wednesday, just 1 hour ahead of the crude oil inventories. Neil Wilson, everyone. There we go. Neil, good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, Andrew. Yeah, very well, thanks. Yeah, all good.
Did you see the Apple conference yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it's the usual, slightly longer battery life. They've made some tweaks to the devices. It's hardly anything terribly inspiring. And, the shares were off, but they do tend to fall on those product days. So I don't think that it's necessarily a big problem for Apple. I just think that, they're in this position where stock's off about 5% in the last 5 days. and they're hanging around this $150 mark. You just need to wonder slightly where the next catalyst is going to be. I think the market's given them probably as much credit as they can offer them for innovation, for steady cash generation, that kind of thing. And so until there's a sort of real, super cycle, another iPhone super cycle or something like that, it's hard to see the stock being able to do an awful lot more than that.
Yeah, and the new Apple products are very expensive also. The newer they come, the more expensive they become year by year. So
yeah, I guess that's a positive. That is that's the other side of the equation. I guess that is a positive for the stock in that their pricing power remains very strong and the brand loyalty remains very strong, and so they are able to continue to sell devices at higher price points. And that is a plus for them. But the stock's pretty richly valued where it is right now.
Yeah, I agree. Now I saw big movement on USD JPY a few minutes ago. Let's say, what's happening with the big weakness on USD JPY? It's huge. What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, you've just seen the dollar kind of come off a bit since yesterday's, the inflation print. We've seen a bit of dollar softness kind of creeping through for a while. The euro has also made a bit of a pop, but the yen's probably the most interesting in a way in that it's testing those mid-August lows. It's just found a bit of support at that level, but the sort of the trend looks downwards. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's tough with FX at the moment because it has been pretty range bound for the last sort of couple of months. Really since June we've been stuck in these ranges, and the economic data is so mixed that it's really hard for it to produce any kind of real volatility or any new trend. And it's it's also the fact that central banks are nowhere near raising rates, so there's not really any kind of differentials there that we can point to particularly. The one area that you might find some differential could be the Bank of England. That could be one to raise rates far quicker than the rest, but we need to wait and see on that.
True. Now, looking at this chart, the USD JPY pair, we can see the US dollar trading quite high, for its all times, let's say, or its most recent times. But what we see here in the right-hand side of the screen, we see a lot of weakness happening with the US dollar. We can see a bit of support happening somewhere here around the 109.10 level. If I'm getting it right. Yeah. What would it take for the dollar not to drop below this level? Because by the looks of it, we might see the dollar tanking heavily. Yeah,
I mean, I think you'd have to get the Fed suddenly becoming hawkish again, which I don't really see happening too much. I think the funny thing about the inflation figures yesterday from the US, it was a slight cooling in inflation, particularly the core month-on-month inflation cooled to just 0.1%. And that actually allows the Fed to maintain more accommodation for longer. So I think it's going to require the Fed to really come out and say it's going to hike rates sooner, it's going to taper sooner, whatever, which it's not going to do. So I'd be looking at the dollar softening. I think it's been chopping around the 92.50 to 93 kind of, and in 93 kind of region on the dollar index for a while now. I think I'd be looking for that to pull back further. I think you're going to see the Fed remaining very, very accommodative, and I just think that the dollar's got to maybe have another look at that sort of 89 kind of region again. It's hard for me to see on the chart there, but yeah, it's around that region, I believe, sort of 88, 89. So I'll be looking for that potentially to play out.
That's exactly how I see it as well from the technical point of view. Yeah, we can see the US dollar turning around. We can see something on the daily chart that looks like a head and shoulders. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So usually on a head and shoulders, we're gonna see a downward movement. Yeah, how down, how low, we don't know yet. But
and then it's probably then that's a good sort of bottoming kind of formation then. it might not go as far as the bottom, the lower end of that range, but it could bounce before then. But I would anticipate a bit of dollar weakness into the year end. I think that would be my kind of base case.
Right, I'm with you on that one. Now, how about the euro US dollar? Yesterday on Bloomberg, I saw Matt Hornbach at Goldman Sachs saying that we will very likely see, or we might see, the euro USD down to 114 by year end. You see it possible as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would just think that if the dollar's going to soften, if I'm thinking the dollar's going to soften, then it's going to be tough for the euro to get to that kind of level. I think on the base case that the dollar weakens, you're actually looking to see the euro try and mount something of a rally. But it's just so range bound. It needs to break out about 119.1, I think, something like that, before you really get excited. But I think there's potential there for the euro to do that. I'm not a full technical guy, but so I'm not necessarily just pointing to technicals here. I'm just talking in a sort of more rounded kind of fundamental case as well. I think there's scope for the euro to do that.
Yeah, and usually the euro USD moves to the opposite pole to the US dollar index. Yeah, where the US dollar pairs. So it would make a lot of sense if we see the US dollar index tanking a bit, towards the end of the year, to see a rally in the euro.
Exactly. I mean, the euro makes up about half of the weighting of the basket of the dollar index. So you'd be the mechanics just wouldn't work. So on the basis that I think the dollar is going to, or likely to fall a bit over the rest of the year, then I would anticipate the euro standing to benefit from that, but not because necessarily the euro is doing anything. But people think the ECB is suddenly better or more hawkish or anything like that. Just that I think it's more of a dollar, just a bit of an unwind of the dollar, which I think needs to happen.
Exactly. Now, question: what currency pair would you say is the most interesting to watch nowadays? Because most of them are ranging.
Yeah, I like cable because it's one that I know obviously a bit more than most, because being in the UK, it's one that people trade here a lot. And the yesterday price action, saw that 100-day moves, simple moving average, it just got slapped back down from that. It tried to rally on the weaker US inflation story, but then that got firmly rejected. So I think near term you could see retesting a sort of 137, 136.70 kind of area, I think is the low. But then I think the Bank of England, I think we've got such a hot inflation reading here in the UK, and I think you're looking at, there's a million jobs vacancies in the UK, where the economy is back to bigger than it was before the pandemic. We're potentially running things a bit hot in the UK, and I think that could see sterling rally into the year end, again playing into a weaker dollar story as well, but also a sort of stronger pound story. And I think I saw a report. I just need to check the flash, because it was just a flash, and you need to be careful. But talking about potentially the Bank of England hiking rates by February 2022, and that'd be that would be a big move, and that would put it well in front of the pack in terms of the Fed and the ECB. So could see some more sterling strength into the year.
True. Question: I had I spoke about the situation in the UK job-wise yesterday. Is UK really running out of employees and out of food as well? Because there were people saying that the supermarkets are empty almost once the Eastern Europeans, the cheap labor force, left.
No, the supermarkets certainly aren't empty where I am. I don't recall anyone actually, and there's no anecdotal evidence. I think the supermarkets are fine. There is some anecdotal evidence of farmers letting crops go rotting in the ground because they don't have people to pick them. But I mean, that's another reason why inflation is going to be a problem, because there's just not enough people. That's partly a Brexit thing, partly a pandemic thing. I think there were something like 2 million people, 2 million EU people or EU citizens left the UK during the pandemic. So that's obviously, creating labour shortages, and I just think, that's just creating kind of overheating potentially in the economy. I mean, well, it's not overheating, it's probably the wrong word. Stagflation is really the sort of kind of thing that we're talking about here, where you're getting a lot of inflationary pressure, but growth not matching potential because you don't have the workers in the right places, that kind of thing. It just puts the Bank of England in a heck of a bind, where I think a rate rise sooner is more likely than them waiting. I think they're not the Fed, and they're not the ECB. They don't have the same kind of hang-ups, I think, as they do. I think the Fed obviously has a sort of politically motivated mandate on jobs. It wants to see everyone back in work, and what way they want to target minority employment levels and all this kind of stuff. And it's the Bank of England is not in that position, so I think they can push to raise rates a bit sooner.
Yeah, since they're not tied anymore to the European Union, I'm sure they can take different action. Yeah, and they don't have to answer to anyone. Regarding the actions they're taking to strengthen the economy if needed. Now we're 1 hour ahead of the crude oil inventories. We're looking at crude oil WTI trading, gaining again on the European trading session. 72.27 is the current market price. Is it plausible to say that crude oil WTI might reach $100 a barrel by year end, Neil?
I struggle with $100. I see maybe 85, 90, but I think the cure for high prices is high prices. So I think once you see it above $10 above where it is now, I think you can see more production coming on stream. A lot of this is Hurricane Ida related, now Hurricane Nicholas. There's shut-ins in the Gulf of Mexico. Demand growth is coming back, but I think that supply will come back on stream later in the year. I think we see a crunch now. I think you're looking at a crunch now. You've seen it in natural gas with a massive supply crunch, and gas, wholesale electricity and gas prices in the UK and across Europe are going through the roof. They're hitting records all the time, and the US pictures are not quite as aggressive, but it's still, we've seen $5.40 on the Henry Hub futures. So that's the sort of indicator that we're looking at, where you see a big supply crunch in oil and gas that's forcing up the price, and I think that's going to drive up the price aggressively, continue to push it up now. But I think once you hit sort of $90 for WTI, then that's when supply comes flooding back in, and it helps to cool the market a bit.
Yeah, and if the WTI hits $90, then we're gonna see the other one, the Brent, hitting 110 probably. Now you nailed it. You were spot on a minute ago when you said something about the $85 mark, somewhere there. I just drew a support line, resistance line there, and it's spot on. It's exactly around the 85.50, somewhere there. And we see the 85.50 price being reached on the 1st of October 2014. Since then, we did not see crude oil WTI reaching such a high price. It is likely. Look at it. Look at the candlestick. If we're doing technical analysis, look at this last candlestick. It looks like the candlestick formation is getting ready to shoot upwards from here.
I think you had a sort of big clear out of positions in kind of July and August. A lot of the specky longs went out, and you're seeing them start to come back in, because although that cleared out these sort of speculative, because everyone had been bidding it up thinking it was going to get to 100, which it was never going to do, and it's all those speculated. When the market fundamentals slightly wobbled because of Delta, and we weren't sure what OPEC was going to do. That sort of cleared out a lot of the speculative positions, and I think now the market fundamentals remain bullish, and supplies tight, inventories are low. So now that that's washed out, you're seeing specs coming back in, and the price is I just don't see it. I can't see it doing anything other than climbing from here.
Yeah, because I see, again, I'm drawing lines on the charts, and I see it did a fantastic breakout to the upside on the 13th. No, on the 10th, sorry, a few days ago. And from there on, it kept pushing higher. So in times like this, probably people will aim for the 74.15, somewhere there as short-term to mid-term trades. And from there on, if we see any breakouts to the upside, we're going to take it from there. Right. We are exactly 5 minutes ahead of the opening bell. We saw a massive sell-off on Wall Street yesterday. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones closed the day in red. What's your take on this one? Is the sell-off going to continue? Very, very likely.
Yeah, well, I think we need to watch. I think the market's been selling off since the jobs report. I think that was a big worry, and I think underestimated worry, really, because it's it doesn't. The Fed can be as loose as it likes, but if the jobs aren't being created or the people aren't getting into the jobs that are being created, then it's kind of pointless what they're doing. So the jobs report has been a bit of a killer for that. We're sitting now on that 50-day moving average, or just about anyway, testing the 50-day moving average from the S&P. That's been the big support throughout the year. Every time it's hit or gone through that level, it's bounced off it. But the worry, I think there's often a lot of choppiness as well into the options expiries on the 19th of the month, and that's coming up.
Yes, right. Right.
Sorry.
You're right with that one. That one slipped my mind. I didn't think about options expiring.
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen it, I think, throughout the year. There's been a bit of volatility in selling into the options before it bounces back up, or into the expiry of the options, which is on the 19th, and that might be what's taking place here. But we need to see that there could be, it could break this time. That pattern could break, because I think I don't know if the market's willing to buy this dip just yet. And a lot of the consensus is that there's going to be a 10% correction in September, October. That maybe makes it less likely that it's actually going to happen because everyone's expecting it. But I think this could potentially be where we see that 50-day line not holding. The trend this year has been that it does hold every time. I just think that as we get into the autumn now, we're getting to this volatile period in September, October. The jobs report wasn't good. The Fed is in a bit of a, boxed in a bit. And I think the market might just worry that you've got inflation, but you don't have the growth to compensate. And that might just see valuations need to take a bit of a hit.
So it's not time to buy the dip just yet.
Well, I mean, if history is anything to go by, then the 50-day moving average is a very good level to be buying the S&P from this year. But there's a lot of other factors at work, so we need to be careful.
Right. Okay. Neil, thank you ever so much for being with us today. We're a few minutes ahead of the opening bell. I'm going to take a couple of minutes of adverts, and then I'm going to come back live for the opening bell. Neil, thank you ever so much. I'll see you tomorrow if you're not busy, right?
What's that? Sorry?
I'll see you tomorrow if you're not busy.
I'll do my best.
All right. Do your best. Right. Neil Wilson, have a good one. Take care. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we had Neil Wilson with us, bringing us the latest news from the markets. We're a few minutes ahead of the opening bell. Stay tuned. We're going to come back live in 2 minutes and see what the markets have prepared for us today and how will the U.S. markets open after the massive sell-off we saw yesterday on the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back live in less than 2 minutes with the U.S. markets open. Right, and we're back from the break, guys. We're exactly 1 minute into the U.S. Trading session. Let's have a quick look and see what happened with the most traded assets at the opening bell and what's expected to happen later on in the day. On a 15-minute chart, guys, we can see crude oil WTI gaining still. It gained the entire day today over $2 since yesterday, $72.33, and pushing even higher just 1 hour ahead of the crude oil inventories. We might see crude oil WTI pushing all the way up to $75 today if the crude oil inventories come out as expected. Let's see what's happening with the euro. We saw the euro. Let's have a quick look at it on a 1 hour chart here. We saw the euro gaining a bit at the opening bell this morning on the European trading session. Then it started pulling back. And in the last hour or so, we see a green candlestick opening, pushing the exchange rate of the euro US dollar at 118.18. Yeah, on the dot, and rising as we see. Positive outcome for the euro after this European trading session. We're looking at the pound trading now at 138.29, still shy in comparison to the euro, but we might see some movement happening in the next few minutes as the orders, the order flow starts going into the market. We see, right, okay, 138.29. We don't see a lot of activity on the pound now. We seem to see some orders, some sell orders here, pushing the exchange rate to the downside, but nothing big has happened just yet. Look what happened with the USD JPY pair today. Big drop for the US dollar following the inflation numbers that came out yesterday. 109.25 is the exchange rate now, and we can see the US dollar pushing to the downside a couple of minutes into the US trading session. But every 30 minutes, guys, we're going to try and have a quick look at the markets, okay, and see how the assets moved until 2100 hours tonight. Right, we're looking at the Aussie dollar opening to the upside, 0.7321 for the Aussie dollar. Although the Aussie dollar is in a downtrend, I don't know how much this positive opening will help the Aussie dollar overall. But if the US dollar keeps tanking, then the Aussie dollar will get a boost by default. USD CAD pair trading to the downside 2-3 minutes into the US trading session, 126.77 for the USD CAD. We saw the USD CAD pushing to the downside today on the European trading session as well. We can see the price turning around from its average highs, not being able to create higher highs anymore. So I'm not going to be surprised if I'm going to see the exchange rate touching 126.60 or why not 126.40 in the trading session today. Let's see what happened with the S&P 500. Guys, I'm going to go on a 5-minute chart. We saw a positive opening followed by more sell-off as the U.S. markets open for the S&P 500. Very similar movement for the Dow Jones as well. Not a lot of positivity as we saw on the S&P 500. There we go. Yeah, at the opening, we saw the price opening somewhere there on the S&P 500. On the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the price is shooting to the downside, 34,545.51. For the Dow Jones right now. Let's see what's happening with Apple. Yeah, the big Apple that had the biggest event of the year yesterday. A big launch, 148.60 at the opening today. Very little movement to the upside noted for Apple. It was 0.3%, 0.4%, somewhere there if I'm not mistaken. So very little movement. But just as Neil Wilson was saying a few minutes ago, the markets tend to be already priced in when you have these events, because people exactly know what to expect. So we might see even a bit of a pullback today on Apple share price, but undoubtedly Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world, and I'm sure they're going to be doing very well. Amazon opened to the downside today, 3,434.59 for the Amazon share price. We see Amazon testing an important support level. The current market price, guys. If this level will be broken, then probably we're going to see Amazon testing the 3,400 level, or even lower. Right, let's see what's happening with Nvidia. Opening to the downside, $220.96 for Nvidia this afternoon. Again, guys, the stock markets tend to be in a sell-off for the last couple of days. Let's see if this sell-off will continue until Friday, or if it's almost time to buy the dip. Right, we're looking at the US dollar index trading to the downside minutes after the opening bell. It traded to the downside in the last couple of days as well. 92.48 for the US dollar index. Gold futures trading at $1,800 flat and gaining a bit after the opening bell. 1,800.05 is the price for gold futures. Let's see what's happening with Brent oil futures. Again, 75.51. Amazing rally. Guys, if anyone traded Brent oil or crude oil today and you went for long positions, well done. This is how you do it. Very well done. I did not have time to trade the markets, unfortunately, but I'm getting a very good idea of what I missed out. So 75.52 for Brent oil futures. I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to see Brent oil futures reaching $77, maybe $78 on the US trading session today. Silver seems to be gaining a bit as well. 23.872 for silver after initially traded to the downside overnight. Yeah, and this morning at the opening bell, we saw silver dropping. Hold on a minute. I'm getting confused here. Okay. I was on a 15-minute chart, guys. Sorry. Right. What happened with silver? Right. Okay. No, I was right. We saw a positive opening followed by, a bit of a pullback. And now we can see silver gaining a bit. Yeah, this green engulfing candlestick that we see right there. 23.865 for silver futures this afternoon. Let's see what's happening with Tesla. Tesla seems to be giving up the rally. $742.34 for Tesla minutes after the US markets open. We see a red candlestick. We might see Tesla pushing a bit lower today towards the 730 level, or somewhere in that region. Let's see what's happening with Facebook. Wow, check this out. Big drop for Facebook after the opening bell. $372.91. We might continue this downturn to somewhere around the $369 mark. See what's happening with Alibaba. There we go. Negative opening for Alibaba as well. $155.85. And finally, Bitcoin, guys. Your favorite cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, gained about $1,000 in the last 24 hours. Trading currently at $47,534 on the Bitfinex exchange. And Ethereum gained a bit as well, trading at $3,410.86. Now, we're going to have a look at top gainers and top losers in the cryptocurrencies markets in the last 24 hours. But please allow me 30 seconds to catch my breath. So we're going to come back live in just 30 seconds with the crypto gainers and losers for the last 24 hours. Right, welcome back, everyone. Let's have a quick look and see what happened on the crypto markets in the last 24 hours. If yesterday I started with top gainers, today I want to start with the top losers. So there you go. Yeah, pricing provided by Coinbase. So the price might differ on platform to platform. We see Rari governance token pulling to the downside 11.9% in the last 24 hours. We see Elrod losing 9.8%. We see Polymath pulling back 6%. Kusama pulled back 5.8%. Bitcoin, the Satoshi version, dropped almost 4.5%. Clover Finance, 4% drop. Polkadot, 3.45% drop. And Scale and Solana, they both dropped 2.8% each. So we see some losers in the last 24 hours. Now let's have a quick look at the gainers, guys, and see how much money we could have made if anyone would have purchased any of these cryptocurrencies in the last 24 hours. TrueFi gained 34%. We see REN gaining 29.4%. Enzyme 24.05% gain in the last 24 hours. Orion Protocol 23% gain. Keep Network almost 23% gain, 22.89%. Phantom 18.8% gain. QuickSwap 16.7%. Hedera Hashgraph 14.8%, and Cartesi also gained 14.7%. Very interesting what's happening with the crypto markets, guys. We know the most volatile asset class of them all, are cryptocurrencies. So I'm not surprised to see these changes. Let's have a quick look at some stocks, guys, and see how stocks moved before the opening bell to try and understand what's potentially happening after the opening bell. There we go. Just a bit of zoom on the page. There we go. We're going to start with Microsoft, which rose 1.2% after the software giant announced a $60 million share buyback with no expiration date and a higher quarterly dividend. Right, that is very interesting. I'm on the edge of investing. Now, Apple stock rose 0.2% only, with the world's largest company rebounding after the previous session's sell-off response to the unveiling of its phone 13 and the new iPad mini. Chevron stock rose 0.5%, boosted by the rise in oil prices, even after JP Morgan downgraded the oil major, citing its ramp-up in clean energy spending. Wynn Resorts fell 4.9%. NGM Resorts fell 1.5%, and Las Vegas Sands dropped 4.5%, continuing yesterday's sell-off after the government of Macau sought to increase regulatory scrutiny over casinos in the world's largest gambling hub. Right, well, there you go. Not only crypto traders have to suffer, gambling passionates will suffer along with the crypto traders and the traders in the financial markets. Weber stock rose 2% after the maker of outdoor grills posted a strong first quarterly report since going public, with sales rising 19% from a year earlier. Wow. Theravance Biopharma stock fell 17% on the back of a biopharmaceutical company announcing its drug to treat hypotension did not meet its primary endpoint. It now intends to cut its workforce by around 75%. Right, guys, we're witnessing a company that's basically looking to almost shut down. 75% cut in its workforce. Unbelievable what's going on. Lucid Group, 2.4% rise following Bank of America predicting a 50% gain, saying the newly floated electric vehicle company appears to be on the firm footing and to become a real player in the growing market. Right, Citrix Systems rose 5.8% after Bloomberg reported the software company is working with advisors to consider a possible sale. Activist investor Elliott recently disclosed that 10% stake in the company. This is what's happening with the stock markets, guys. We see a lot of movement happening. We saw the sell-off continuing today after the U.S. markets open. Hey, I'm gonna keep you posted with what's happening. I'm gonna try and give you an update every 30 minutes from now on. And don't go anywhere, guys. Please remember, in 1 hour from now, we're gonna have Tyron Schultz joining us from South Africa with a session of live trading on his personal trading account. So stay tuned. It is definitely worth joining us in 1 hour from now. We will not interrupt the stream. We're gonna play a replay of a very interesting interview that I had a few months back, which I'm sure you missed, and some adverts that keep us alive, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free, and you will gain my respect for a lifetime. Join me again in 1 hour from now when I'm going to welcome Tyron Schultz for the live trading session of the day. Okay, and for the US markets open, join me again tomorrow, same time, same place. And until then, please remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander, and I'd like you to join me every Monday at 1700 London time for Brad's Eye View here on Financial News. This will be an interactive hour with opportunities for you, the trader, on FX, commodities, and indices, and maybe even a bit of crypto if they let me. See you then.
InstructFX is providing free consultation and free education, not investment advice, guys. We are not giving investment advice.
This is where the problem lies. Is
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
Wow. Binary options, when they came out, were actually, I believe, a legitimate investment or trading vehicle.
United States that's actually looking at it. Wow. So it's all about having some framework for electronic monitoring of systems. That is very important.
For me, that is where the difficult question is going to come in, under what asset class is going to fall under.
And that's, there's a lot of good people there, but there are a lot of people who are sitting, taking it easy.
It will just get messed up. Also, look where we are now. They're printing the hell out of the dollar.
Wow.
All of them were messed up.
It's been like Scotland the last 2 months, I tell you. It's been raining literally every day until 3 days ago.
This is where the problem lies.
So naturally, yes, we will still see these crazy moves.
Yes, regulations needed. It's welcomed.
Retail traders don't necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So,
all of them were messed up.
And also, as I say, as the pension funds and all the asset managers come in, and the real retail money, they're going to come in a safer environment.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So B-book brokers love it.
Are we going to do both? Are we going to just migrate to cryptos? What's going to happen next?
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This was it from my side today. Join me again tomorrow for a new round of market talks. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. And remember to trade responsibly, and may all your trades be in the money.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander from FX Large, and I'm sitting here in front of a picture of the City of London. I get asked by brokers all the time, why use video? What's the point? Well, let's start with what. You've got webinars, market updates, platform education, and trader education with quizzes, all designed to attract, motivate, and retain your clients. So, why is this better than any other medium? Let's take a look. Video produces far higher click-through rates and share rates in emails and social media campaigns. Viewers are 10 times more likely to comment, embed, engage, and share a video than any other type of content. 65% of viewers will click through to your website. Video added to your website can increase the chance of a front-page Google result by 53 times. Videos on a landing page can increase conversion by 80%. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Think about it. Also, 50% of searches are done on mobile phones. Lengthy text is not always easy to read on a smartphone. Videos, especially videos with captions, are the perfect medium for smaller devices. I could go on, but I'm following my first rule of production: keep it short. To summarize, increase your market penetration dramatically with videos in your campaigns.
Make your salespeople more effective and professional armed with videos to close the deal. And let's not forget customer support, who can cut out hours of phone calls and emails with simple how-to videos. If you want to learn more, just click here and I'll see you on the inside.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander, and I'd like you to join me every Monday at 1700 London time for Brad's Eye View here on Financial News. This will be an interactive hour with opportunities for you, the trader, on FX, commodities, and indices, and maybe even a bit of crypto if they let me. See you then.
InstructFX is providing free consultation and free education, not investment advice, guys. We are not giving investment advice.
This is where the problem lies. Is
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
Wow.
binary options, when they came out, were actually, I believe, a legitimate investment or trading vehicle.
Wow.
The United States that's actually looking at it.
Wow.
So it's all about having some framework for electronic monitoring of systems. That is very important.
For me, that is where the difficult question is going to come in, under what asset class is going to fall under.
And that's, there's a lot of good people there, but there are a lot of people who are sitting, taking it easy.
It will just get messed up. Also, look where we are now. They're printing the hell out of the dollar.
Wow.
All of them were messed up.
It's been like Scotland the last 2 months, I tell you. It's been raining literally every day until 3 days ago.
This is where the problem lies.
So naturally, yes, we will still see these crazy moves.
Yes, regulations needed. It's welcomed.
Retail traders don't necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So,
wow.
All of them were messed up.
And also, as I say, as the pension funds and all the asset managers come in, and the real retail money, they're going to come in a safer environment.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
Necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So B-book brokers love it.
Are we going to do both? Are we going to just migrate to cryptos? What's going to happen next?
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This was it from my side today. Join me again tomorrow for a new round of market talks. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. And remember to trade responsibly, and may all your trades be in the money.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander from FX Large, and I'm sitting here in front of a picture of the City of London. I get asked by brokers all the time, why use video? What's the point? Well, let's start with what. You've got webinars, market updates, platform education, and trader education with quizzes, all designed to attract, motivate, and retain your clients. So, why is this better than any other medium? Let's take a look. Video produces far higher click-through rates and share rates in emails and social media campaigns. Viewers are 10 times more likely to comment, embed, engage, and share a video than any other type of content. 65% of viewers will click through to your website. Video added to your website can increase the chance of a front-page Google result by 53 times. Videos on a landing page can increase conversion by 80%. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Think about it. Also, 50% of searches are done on mobile phones. Lengthy text is not always easy to read on a smartphone. Videos, especially videos with captions, are the perfect medium for smaller devices. I could go on, but I'm following my first rule of production: keep it short. To summarize, increase your market penetration dramatically with videos in your campaigns. Make your salespeople more effective and professional, armed with videos to close the deal. And let's not forget customer support, who can cut out hours of phone calls and emails with simple how-to videos. If you want to learn more, just click here and I'll see you on the inside.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander, and I'd like you to join me every Monday at 1700 London time for Brad's Eye View here on Financial News. This will be an interactive hour with opportunities for you, the trader, on FX, commodities, and indices, and maybe even a bit of crypto if they let me. See you then.
InstructFX is providing free consultation and free education, not investment advice, guys. We are not giving investment advice.
This is where the problem lies. Is
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
binary options, when they came out, were actually, I believe, a legitimate investment or trading vehicle.
The United States that's actually looking at it. So it's all about having some framework for electronic monitoring of systems. That is very important.
For me, that is where the difficult question is going to come in, under what asset class is going to fall under.
And that's, there's a lot of good people there, but there are a lot of people who are sitting, taking it easy.
It will just get messed up. Also, look where we are now. They're printing the hell out of the dollar. All of them were messed up.
It's been like Scotland the last 2 months, I tell you. It's been raining literally every day until 3 days ago.
This is where the problem lies.
So naturally, yes, we will still see these crazy moves.
Yes, regulations needed. It's welcomed.
Retail traders don't necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So
all of them were messed up.
And also, as I say, as the pension funds and all the asset managers come in, and the real retail money, they're going to come in a safer environment.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
Necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So B-book brokers love it.
Are we going to do both? Are we going to just migrate to cryptos? What's going to happen next?
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This was it from my side today. Join me again tomorrow for a new round of market talks. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. And remember to trade responsibly, and may all your trades be in the money.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, beautiful people, and we're back with 5 most common trading indicators in 2021. Once again, I've decided to record these daily short videos to try and help every single one of you understand the complexity of the financial markets and how to approach the markets the right way. So today, 5 most common trading indicators in 2021. They are part of technical analysis, guys, which is part of trading. When you're trading the financial markets, you have 2 types of analysis, technical and fundamental. Both together might make the difference between a winning trade and a losing trade. So let's start with number 1 for today, guys, which is the RSI, or the Relative Strength Index. This is the most common technical indicator that everyone knows. This is the first indicator that you're usually being taught. So the Relative Strength Index, or RSI, is a technical indicator used in the analysis of financial markets. It is intended to chart the current and historical strength or weakness of a stock or market based on the closing prices of a recent trading period. The RSI is most typically used on a 14-period time frame, measured on a scale from 0 to 100, with highs and lows levels marked at 70 and 30. Short or longer time frames are usually used for alternately shorter or longer outlooks. I know it sounds complicated, but I promise you it's not. So what does this mean in layman terms, guys? I don't know if you saw that every day when I'm presenting the charts, I have all sort of drawing on the chart. Those are technical indicators, which most times help me position myself on the market at the right time, most times avoiding a drawdown on my trading account. So the RSI, this purple line that you see at the bottom of the chart, is the first indicator and the easiest one to learn. What does it do? It measures the strength, just as the name suggests. It's the Relative Strength Index. So it's measuring the strength of the financial markets. The 2 levels that you saw earlier on, the 30 and the 70 level, indicate an oversold and an overbought level. Whenever one of the 2 happens, then there is a big probability for the market to turn around, even for a short period of time. This is why the RSI is one of the easiest and the most popular indicators used on a Forex chart. Okay, Relative Strength Index, guys. Remember this name. So whenever you look at the bottom of the chart and you see the RSI way down into the oversold levels, you might want to consider, even for a short period of time, a potential buy position, because everything that goes up must come down, and everything that goes down must come back up eventually. This is how the RSI works. It's basically lingering all day long between 30 and 70%, somewhere in that region. Occasionally, it might go a bit higher, which usually implies a very good short position. Occasionally, you're going to see it lower, which usually implies a very good long position. This being said, guys, we're going to move to the number 2, the second very important indicator, which I'm using on a daily basis, guys, which is the Stochastic Oscillator. In technical analysis, the Stochastic Oscillator is a momentum indicator that uses support and resistance levels. This was invented by George Lane in late 1950s, guys. So for the last 50 years or more, we have the Stochastic indicator on our charts. The term stochastic refers to the point of a current price in relation to its price range over a period of time. This method attempts to predict price turning points by comparing the closing price of a security to its price range. Okay, now, just like the Relative Strength Index that you saw a minute ago, guys, the Stochastic Oscillator has a range, okay, and it keeps ranging between the highs and the lows of that range, okay, many times a day. Now, you can take this into consideration and try and position yourself on the market at a better price, at a better time frame, at a better rate, increasing the chances of being successful. Usually, you have to use 2 or 3 indicators, and if all 3 of them show you the same thing, on the concept, looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Okay, so I'm going to teach you 5 indicators today. We have 3 more to go. Okay, so get your pens ready. Get your notebooks ready. If you have questions, guys, feel free to type your questions in the comments box, and I will do my best to answer as soon as possible. So this is the second one and the most important one, guys, Stochastic Oscillator. Very easy to trade on. Again, whenever you see the stochastic trading at its lows and turning around, pointing to the upside, it might be a very good entry for a potential buy position. Whenever you see the stochastic trading at its top, in the overbought levels, and you see it turning around, it might be a good entry for a short position. And if the RSI is indicating the exact same thing, guys, you're 70% there. Which takes me to number 3 on the board, guys. And again, a very, very popular, famous technical indicator, which is the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands, guys, you saw this this formation that goes around the candlesticks on many, many charts, guys. You saw it on the news, you saw it on the TV, you saw it on many trading platforms, but you didn't know what that means. These are the Bollinger Bands, guys. So Bollinger Bands are a type of statistical chart characterizing, again, a long word, gives me a bit of a headache today, the prices and volatility over time of a financial instrument or commodity, using a formulaic method propounded by John Bollinger in the 1980s, guys. So the Bollinger Bands have been around for what? Over 30 years now. Right. Over 40 years, sorry. Financial trades employ these charts as a methodical tool to inform trading decisions, control automated trading systems, or as a component of technical analysis. Again, they are very, very easy to use if someone explains it to you the right way. Okay? Now, just like the RSI and the stochastic, Bollinger Bands have a center line. They have a top, a bottom, and a center line. Whenever the price ranges between the center line and the lower section on the chart, then most likely we're looking at a downtrend, guys. Whenever the price trades above the center line, between the center line and the top, then very likely we're looking at an uptrend. Whenever you're going to have a bit of instability on the market, a bit of tension on the market, then you're going to see the Bollinger Bands very, very narrow, like you see here in the center of the chart. Okay, not a lot of movement is happening there price-wise. Okay, and we see the Bollinger Bands in a very, very narrow channel. That usually means a lot of insecurity on the market. It usually announces some data that will be announced. It announces an event. Okay, so whenever you see the market in that formation, wait for an event, wait for something to happen, because it's going to happen. Which takes me to, okay, so if you don't have questions about Bollinger Bands, RSI, and stochastic, I will move on, guys. Number 4, guys, and again, a very, very popular indicator. As we go on, they become a bit more complicated, guys. When, if you remember, the RSI a few minutes ago only had a blue line, or a purple line. If the stochastic only had 2 lines, look at the MACD, guys, the moving average convergence divergence indicator. It has 2 lines. It has some candlesticks up and down. Okay, it's getting a bit more complicated. So the MACD is short for moving average convergence divergence, which is a trading indicator used in technical analysis of stock prices, created by Gerald Appel in the late 1970s. There we go. Another indicator that that's been around for over 40 years, guys. It is designed to reveal changes in the strength, direction, momentum, and duration of a trend in a stock price. The MACD indicator or oscillator is a collection of 3 time series calculated from historical price data, most often the closing price. These 3 series are the MACD series proper, the signal or average series, and the divergence series, which is the difference between the 2. You see, it's a bit more complicated. However, once you start working with it, once someone explains it to you properly, and you see how the charts, how the candlesticks move versus this indicator, it will make a lot of sense, guys. Okay, so give yourself the time of day to learn how indicators work. Okay, trading Forex is a game of averages. Trading online is a game of averages. But the more averages you're getting together, the more chances you have of being successful. Okay, so this is what is happening with the MACD, guys. Again, if you don't have any questions about the previous indicators, I will move on to number 5, the most complicated, the most popular, the most famous one used by professional traders, which is moving averages, guys. Those colored lines you saw me using on the trading platform every day. So the moving averages. In finance, a moving average is a stock indicator that is commonly used in technical analysis. The reason for calculating the moving average of a stock is to help smooth out the price data by creating a constantly updated average price. This is what goes on in trading, guys. You have the average price, and then you have the deviations up and down every day. This is it. Moving average is a simple technical analysis tool Moving averages are usually calculated to identify the trend direction of a stock or to determine its support and resistance levels. They also act as dynamic support resistance levels, guys. Yeah, those horizontal lines that I draw sometimes. Once you learn the moving averages, you won't have to use those horizontal lines. You're just looking at the moving averages and they will indicate the most probable support resistance levels. So once again, you position yourself on the market at the right time, avoiding a big drawdown. Okay, this is a trend following or lagging indicator because it is based on past prices. Okay, even though the disclaimer says past performance does not match, does not guarantee further movement. Okay, sometimes it does, guys, and this is up to you to decide if it's worth it or not. Okay, this is what's happening. These are the most common technical indicators used by traders, professional or beginner traders in 2021, guys. Good afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome to the U.S. markets open, guys. We are exactly 1 hour into the U.S. trading session. We had the crude oil inventories announced a couple of minutes ago. So let me share this beautiful news with you and have a relook at the charts and see how the most traded assets moved today on this beautiful Wednesday, 15th of September, 2021. I'm going to start with the economic calendar, guys, to have a quick look at the result. After the crude oil inventories, there we go towards the bottom of the chart. We can see crude oil inventories coming out in green for the first time in a long time. A drove 6.42 million barrels happened last week versus an expectation of a negative 3.5 million barrels that consensus has predicted. Cushing crude oil inventories also came out negative 1.1 million versus the previous that was almost 2 million barrels for the week. In 23 minutes from now, we're going to have a press conference from the European Central Bank. And in 43 minutes from now, we're going to have German Baba Balls holding a press conference. This is going to be it for today. Now, let's have a quick look at the charts, guys, and see how the most traded assets reacted to the crude oil inventories that was announced minutes ago. There we go. I'm just going to open this article, which I'm going to share with you after we have a look at the charts. Big boost for crude oil WTI, guys. 1 hour into the U.S. trading session, trading at $73 almost, $72.94 and climbing. As the crude oil inventories result came out way better than expected. Let's see what's happening with the euro. 1 hour into the U.S. trading session, 118.14 for the euro. Nothing big has happened yet. If anything, we can see the euro pushing slightly to the downside, heading towards that 118.10 or the 118 flat. Why not? Important support level at 118, as you can see on the charts. Okay, and I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to see that level being reached today during the U.S. trading session. Let's see what's happening with the pound. Again, we see the pound copying the euro basically and following the euro to the downside. Trading at 138.39, 1 hour into the U.S. trading session. USD JPY took a breather for now after this massive drop that happened in the last 24 hours. Huge drop for USD JPY in the last 24 hours. 109.31 is the current market price. Let's have a quick look at it on a 15-minute chart. There we go. Yeah, we might see people ready to buy the dip, guys. 109.31. We see a green candlestick opened down there at the bottom. Some people might think it's a good idea to buy the dip. Some people would prefer to wait a bit longer, yeah, and see if this sell-off will continue. Let's see what's happening with the Aussie dollar. Again, 1 hour into the US trading session, 0.7325 for the Aussie dollar. Push to the downside. Yeah, after a green candlestick. There we go. Yeah, we can see the euro pushing to the downside, the pound pushing to the downside, and also the Aussie dollar seems to be pushing to the downside. Let's see if the US dollar wants to correct today. USD CAD, big sell-off on the USD CAD in the last couple of hours as well. 126.42 current market price. 126.45 current market price. We can see a support level, yeah, somewhere there. Okay, 126.37 seems to be the support level for USD CAD. The price is almost there, yeah, more or less. So we might see USD CAD starting to range to the upside, yeah, and continue this this ranging market that we see very often on the USD CAD. Let's see what's going to happen. The S&P 500, guys, which opened an hour ago to the downside. Right, 4452.28. We see a bit of buying happening right now on the S&P 500. Nothing big, nothing serious has happened just yet. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Meanwhile, we're gonna have a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Where is it? There it is. See what's happening with the Dow Jones. We saw the negative opening on the Dow. On the Dow as well, we see a bit of buying happening, but again, nothing serious. Nothing serious has happened just yet. Right, moving on. We're looking at Apple. Let's see what's happening with Apple. Again, negative opening for Apple, 146.83 current market price. Not enough buying is happening right now. Let's see what's going to happen. We're going to have a good few hours on the US trading session to analyze the charts, and I'm sure in the next 20 minutes or so, when Tyron Schultz will join us for the live trading session of the day, we're going to get the opportunity of analyzing the charts even more. Amazon opened to the downside today, guys. Again, very little buying is happening right now. A lot of weakness on the US stock markets. Nvidia, which opened to the downside, seems to be trading a bit higher 1 hour into the US trading session. $221.32 right now. We're looking at the US dollar index gaining a bit after massive sell-offs. 92.47 for the US dollar index futures. We might see the US dollar index trading a bit higher on the US trading session after the massive sell-off that happened recently. Let's see what's happening with gold, which fell below the 1,800 mark. 1,797.15 this afternoon. Again, dropping by the looks of it. Very weak. What's happening with gold today? Okay, seems to be set to go more to the downside than to the upside. There we go. Yeah, this is the support level that we see. Yeah, sitting around 1,785.93 for gold futures. Now, I'm really curious what's going to happen if we add a technical indicator. I'm just going to add the relative strength index for now, which is a good indication of the asset being overbought or oversold. What we see right now in the relative strength index, we see the relative strength index heading towards the oversold levels. Yeah, definitely falling below the 50% mark. Yeah, which is there. Okay, we see it heading, pointing downwards, heading into the oversold levels. We might see gold futures retesting these lows at 1786.14. Yeah, we're somewhere in that region in the next few hours. Let's see what's happening with Brent oil futures. There we go, guys. $76.07 for Brent oil futures this afternoon. What an amazing rally, beautiful people, for crude oil and Brent oil. There's crude oil, 73.06. There is Brent oil, 76.06. $3 difference on the dot. $3 on the dot. Wow. Right, silver seems to be pointing to the downside. A bit of weakness in silver futures this afternoon, just like we see on gold futures. Yeah, if I decrease the time frame to a 15-minute chart, again, we're going to see silver pointing downwards and probably heading towards the lows. Yeah, around this price, 23.72. Okay, somewhere there. We can see the volatility picking up, guys, and we can see silver futures almost reaching that low. Wow, very interesting for scalping, guys, if you're an experienced trader and if you know what you're doing. Now, don't forget, type your questions, guys. Interact with me. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know if you like our shows or if you don't like our shows. Let me know how we can improve so you refer all your friends, all your enemies, all the people you know to watch our daily broadcasts, our daily live streams, and try and learn something from top industry specialists, which I have with me every single day. Let's continue now with the charts, guys, until my colleague will join us. Tesla, 741.37 for Tesla. We see Tesla holding on so far. Okay, it seems to be testing a very interesting support level there. Yeah, and not finding it interesting enough to go below that price at 738.11. Okay, 741.97. We might see 745, or we might see even 750 by the end of the trading session today. See what's happening with Facebook. Facebook seems to be wanting to continue the drop this afternoon, guys. 369 on the dot for Facebook. 1 hour and a few minutes into the US trading session. Massive drop. I'm really curious about something, and I'm going to share something very interesting with you today. I was actually, before we went live today, I was actually chatting with live support on Facebook, and I'm very curious. I am wondering if this meltdown in the share price happens also due to the latest advertising policies. Yeah, that Facebook and also Google has introduced in the recent month or so. Okay, there were some massive changes into the advertising policies. Unfortunately, some innocent people, or innocent companies have to suffer. Yeah, along with the ones that do deserve to suffer, that are advertising falsely. Yeah, or misleading people. And I totally agree with the change and with the strength in the regulation, but in the advertising policy, but everything is done, or 90% or 99% of the work is done through algorithms, through robots that don't really think. They're taught, they're programmed to do that, and that's what they're going to do. So I'm really curious if innocent companies do suffer as well from these changes in advertisement. Let's see. Apparently, my speech here is making traders wanting to buy the Facebook share. We see what looks like the beginning of a very shy correction. 369.32 for Facebook right now. Let's see how high this will go. Right, I'm not going to mention any more advertising policies, so the share price doesn't get impacted by my comments. Right, meanwhile, we're looking at Alibaba, which is trading still to the downside, 156.20 for Alibaba this afternoon. Let's see what's happening with Bitcoin, which gained in the last 24 hours over $1,000. If I'm not mistaken, $47,718.03 for Bitcoin. And looking at the charts carefully, guys, we can see it looks like Bitcoin is getting ready for another rally, another push to the upside, if the candlestick is correct, on a 15-minute time frame. Once again, guys, I'm not encouraging anyone to trade based solely on the information you get by watching our live daily streams. Okay, do your own analysis. Do your own analysis. What we're doing here is we're trying to bring you the raw information from top industry specialists. Yeah, all my colleagues work for reputable financial firms, or worked for reputable financial firms in the past. And through a joint effort, we're trying to bring the financial markets to your doorstep with the real information. Okay, trading does carry risk. Trading does carry a huge amount of risk. But you can mitigate that risk with a bit of knowledge, with a bit of flexibility in your trading account, and understanding that a fortune is not made overnight, unless your name is, I don't know, Elon Musk, or I don't think even Elon Musk made the fortune overnight. Okay, we could say he did when he pumped the crypto markets. But apart from that, everyone worked hard, and it took, even Warren Buffett, guys, it took an awful lot of years and investing and losing as well until Warren Buffett got to where he is today. And so is happening with anyone in the financial markets, including myself, including my colleagues. We all have losses. We understand the risk in the financial markets, and most importantly, we understand that wealth is generated over time. Okay, I've worked in many forex brokerages for the last 10 years, quite a few brokerages, I might say, and I saw fortunes being made and fortunes being lost. So what I'm trying to do here is just pass you some of my experience, which I gained in working with so many clients over 10 long years. Okay, so don't repeat the same mistakes that my clients did, that I did, and that many of my colleagues and your colleagues did, and they're still doing. Right, let's continue now. Let's see what else is happening with the markets. We're looking at Ethereum. Go on. Right, Ethereum, okay, seems to be gaining slowly but surely. 3,428.17 for Ethereum this afternoon. And looking at the last candlestick, we can see a green candlestick that might be sending the price even higher. 3,460. Why not 335? Right, this is it. This is what's happening 1 hour into the US trading session, guys. In 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna have Tyron Schultz showing us how live trading works on his real personal live trading account. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stay with us for a few more minutes. I'm gonna have some to play some more adverts until then. But undoubtedly, we're gonna be back in about 10 minutes, with Tyron Schultz showing us how he is trading live on his live trading account. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and I'll see you in exactly 10 minutes from now.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander, and I'd like you to join me every Monday at 1700 London time for Brad's Eye View here on Financial News. This will be an interactive hour with opportunities for you, the trader, on FX, commodities, and indices, and maybe even a bit of crypto if they let me. See you then.
InstructFX is providing free consultation and free education, not investment advice, guys. We are not giving investment advice.
This is where the problem lies. Is
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
Wow.
binary options, when they came out, were actually, I believe, a legitimate investment or trading vehicle.
Wow.
The United States that's actually looking at it.
Wow.
So it's all about having some framework for electronic monitoring of systems. That is very important.
For me, that is where the difficult question is going to come in, under what asset class is going to fall under.
And that's, there's a lot of good people there, but there are a lot of people who are sitting, taking it easy.
It will just get messed up. Also, look where we are now. They're printing the hell out of the dollar.
Wow.
All of them were messed up.
It's been like Scotland the last 2 months, I tell you. It's been raining literally every day until 3 days ago.
This is where the problem lies.
So naturally, yes, we will still see these crazy moves.
Yes, regulations needed. It's welcomed.
Retail traders don't necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So,
wow.
All of them were messed up.
And also, as I say, as the pension funds and all the asset managers come in, and the real retail money, they're going to come in a safer environment.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
necessarily understand the big volatility, trading 1 to 5 leverage, and accounts get blown up. So B-book brokers love it.
Wow.
Are we going to do both? Are we going to just migrate to cryptos? What's going to happen next?
Wow.
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This is where the problem lies.
Bitcoin fixes this problem.
This was it from my side today. Join me again tomorrow for a new round of market talks. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. And remember to trade responsibly, and may all your trades be in the money.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Hi, my name is Brad Alexander from FX Large, and I'm sitting here in front of a picture of the City of London. I get asked by brokers all the time, why use video? What's the point? Well, let's start with what. You've got webinars, market updates, platform education, and trader education with quizzes, all designed to attract, motivate, and retain your clients. So, why is this better than any other medium? Let's take a look. Video produces far higher click-through rates and share rates in emails and social media campaigns. Viewers are 10 times more likely to comment, embed, engage, and share a video than any other type of content. 65% of viewers will click through to your website. Video added to your website can increase the chance of a front-page Google result by 53 times. Videos on a landing page can increase conversion by 80%. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Think about it. Also, 50% of searches are done on mobile phones. Lengthy text is not always easy to read on a smartphone. Videos, especially videos with captions, are the perfect medium for smaller devices. I could go on, but I'm following my first rule of production: keep it short. To summarize, increase your market penetration dramatically with videos in your campaigns. Make your salespeople more effective and professional, armed with videos to close the deal. And let's not forget customer support, who can cut out hours of phone calls and emails with simple how-to videos. If you want to learn more, just click here and I'll see you on the inside.
Right, and we're back, beautiful people. Good afternoon once again. And since it's 1700 hours CET, it's time for the live trading with my good colleague from Cape Town, South Africa, Tyron Schultz. Right, Tyron, very good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, I'm well in the south.
Good, good, good. Did you see the crude oil today, Tyron?
Unfortunately, I didn't have a look at the crude oil. I was mostly focused on my currency pairs that I analyzed yesterday.
Oh boy. Check this out. I'm going to share my screen right now. Check this out. Look. Right. $2 gain for crude oil WTI in 2-3 hours. Amazing rally. Crude oil WTI going shooting higher on the European trading session. And half an hour ago, we had the crude oil inventories, which came out, funny enough, in green this time, with a draw of 6.4 million versus an expected draw of only 3.5. So this gave crude oil WTI a huge boost. And I'm curious to see if we're going to see a bit of a correction right now, or if crude oil WTI will still shoot even higher. What's your take on this? Are you trading commodities?
Yeah, I mostly focus on my gold trades, maybe gold, now and then a bit of silver. But to my understanding, when it comes to technical analysis, whenever the market goes into a big bullish run, like it did there, it will usually come back to reset the market a bit with a nice pullback to then continue going higher, just to stabilize the market. But let's see what the market will do. I see around $71.50. There might be a little bit of support in that area, so the market might come back and test that area. So let's see what the market wants to do.
You know what's very interesting? Since you brought up technical analysis, I love my technical analysis. That's why they called me the chart whisperer. But I've noticed something really interesting. Let me see if we can catch it on a 4-hour chart. There we go. Now, you know about Elliott waves, yeah? And I'm sure most experienced traders heard about Elliott waves, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Right. So check this out. And I might be right, I might be wrong, I don't know. But according to Elliott waves, when we're in an uptrend, we're going to have 5 waves, yeah? 3 consecutive waves upwards and 2 pullbacks. So I see this as the first wave. Yeah, we saw the pullback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We could say this is the third wave, which usually is the longest one of them all. Yeah, but we saw exceptions. So after a rally like this, we might see a bit of a pullback. And if the charts stick to technical analysis and to Elliott waves, then we might see a fifth wave, shooting oil price somewhere towards the $74, $75 a barrel. Does this make sense in your view?
It does really make sense. If I had to look at it from my point of view of how I look at the market, I wouldn't usually maybe use Elliott wave. But if I look at momentum in terms of candlestick size, if you look at the candle size, I can expect in terms of technical and fundamentals that the fundamentals is also in favor of price going higher. So with that being said, we can definitely see more movement to the upside. And maybe you can see a nice break over there as well that you identify.
Exactly. So this is what I'm looking at right now. If I'm gonna see this level, 74.17 being touched, I'm even tempted to go long now until that level. But I won't do that. I'm curious to see what's going to happen once that level is going to be touched. If we're going to see a pullback, if we're going to see the price trying to continue this ranging pattern, this wide ranging pattern, or if it's going to settle above. Yesterday, I was saying we might see crude oil WTI by the end of the year reaching $100. What is your take on it? What do you reckon?
To be honest, the market have shown us a lot of things. So anything is possible. But if we look at our price, the price are performing now, it's more than possible. If you can do $2 a day, it might do $10 a week. So anything is possible if you look at what the fundamentals are bringing, and also to the technical side, to what the market is giving us. So that's super exciting things when it comes to crude oil.
Yes, and if you can make $2 a day from crude oil, even if you're trading 001 lots, that's going to be a lot of money, man. Someone's going to make a lot of
100%. If you look at your pip value as well, if you look at the different brokers, now we're talking about money, because there's someone who doesn't trade, let's say $2, but if you look at your pip value, if you trade a standard lot, maybe the guy with the minimum lot will still make money, but the guys with standard lots will definitely make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, you could make $2,000 in a single trade. Right. So live trading, talking about live trading, what have you got for us today? Did you manage to trade at all today?
I took one trade opening of London, so I'd like to share that now. And there was one trade I analyzed and identified, but I missed it. It's not something I usually trade, but the opportunity was there, but I didn't take it. But let me quickly share my chart, and I'll quickly show you. Okay, so the one was USD CAD. So yesterday we spoke about USD CAD. I spoke about the key level area over here. I like to keep my analysis from the previous day just to show some consistency the day after, because it's one thing to identify something and the next day to do something completely different. So here we could see that the market rejected from this area as expected, because my goal was to see if price breaks above this resistance area, then this key level will definitely turn to support if the retest hold. And here we could see that the market rejected, and we're currently running into profit on this trade. This is about how many pips? About 50 pips. Say between 40 to 50 pips we're running into profit in this trade, which is pretty good. My goal is to scale out about 90% or 70% of my trade when it comes to this area, because of the trend line that's there. And we might find some support and then price attempting to push back to this zone. And the other one I missed was USD ZAR. USD ZAR yesterday, I projected that the market will come back to retest this area. If it does come back, then we'll see a nice impulsive movement, and it played out beautiful. And if you watched the show yesterday, this is the same analysis from yesterday, and I explained it to the T. And here we can see definitely price respecting my areas. It's just a pity I didn't take this bar. I'm expecting USD ZAR to maybe close about, say, 1460, 1470 by Friday. But let's see how the market performs. And the next thing I would like to show as well is the DXY. DXY is holding on the support area, and I was identifying this 92,500 zone as a very, very important area on Monday. And yesterday I spoke about it again, and now we see the price is holding on this area. So if we get a clear break, we'll definitely see more downside on the DXY. And if you compare that the dollar to your major currency pairs, we might see a bit more dollar getting a bit of beating there in the short term. And the last one that I want to show you guys is Nasdaq. And I was very clear on Nasdaq where I said yesterday, if we get a break below 15,400, we might see price coming to 15,200. And as things are looking now, if you go to your lower time frame just to see what the scalpers wants to do, we can clearly see that the market is maybe retesting the zone to continue going lower. So yeah, so that's some exciting things when it comes to our technical approach and all the stuff that we looked at. So yeah, it looks like the market is respecting us in a way.
Yes, but right now, let me start. So yesterday you were saying you're not a big fan of trading USD Rand, the USD ZAR. Yeah, one, because of the spread, and two, because of the very low PIP value. Yeah, because the profit we're making, yeah, if we're trading Euro US dollar, yeah, the money we invest is euros, and the profit we're making is in dollars because it's given by the counter currency, yeah, 100%. By the cold currency. So that's, you would need a huge movement like the one you showed me earlier on the Rand to make $2, let's say, or $10. Yeah, 100%. While if you catch half of that movement on Euro USD, yeah, you're gonna make 10 times more money. So 100%. Don't be sorry you didn't trade the USD.
Sometimes I don't like trading exotic pairs because number one, liquidity on that pair is not always that great, and as you said, the perk value. But one thing I usually do is I like to chip and change things now and then, just to bring in something new. But it's always great to see when you go on a chart and analyze the chart and the data that is available for what the price are. Like if price basically respects your areas, that means that, now and then there might be an opportunity. Like today I only took one trade. And if I took that trade, 100 pips, whether you make it on an exotic pair, a major currency pair, or commodity pair. And we trade to make money. We don't trade just to be forecasters. So whenever I analyze a pair and I don't take the trade, I feel like a weather forecaster. So that's not always good.
Fair enough. Now, I have to ask you something about your trading strategy. Yeah, because you're trading for some years, I'm trading for some years, and our trading strategies tend to be different sometimes. Do you scalp the markets? Is that your way of trading the markets, like the hedge funds do, like banks do, like professional traders do, or you prefer more intraday movement?
It depends on my currency pairs, number one, and also it depends on what my goal is. Because if I trade, for instance, with $100 account, my goal would rather be to scalp. If I do 10 pips, 5 pips, 7 pips, my goal is to compound all my profits to grow my account. But if I trade with a bigger account, my mindset is different, because now I have more of a leeway to keep trades for a bit longer, maybe to scale in and out of setups, look from a bigger point of view. But nowadays I trade fairly, average accounts about 20,000 Rand to 30 to 50,000 Rand. So I'll definitely take about, say, 1 to 5 trades per week, focus on 20 to 50 pips per day. But the reason why I do that, and I actually want to share my screen quickly, if that's fine with you, Andrew. I really want to show people why I actually only trade 20 to 30 pips on certain pairs. So let me quickly share my screen, and this is basically something I teach my students. I always tell them, whenever you trade, you need to develop an identity, and that identity will be your blueprint for what you'll do day in and day out in the market. So what I'm going to show now basically gives you that identity to know when and where to trade certain pairs. So let me quickly share my screen.
Sure.
And I'm going to do that on GBP, JPY, and Euro JPY. So for anyone watching this will be a really good tip. Or a good tip that you can use. I just want to clean my chart as well. And this is also other pair that we identified yesterday, and I said I want a pullback, so this is really something I'm looking forward to. But just for this example's sake, I'm just going to quickly clean my charts. Now, a lot of people don't use the session breaks. Now, when you look at a currency pair, it's very important to know each and everything of that currency pair. And the moment you know each and everything of that currency pair, you start seeing the behavior of that currency pair. And whatever your understanding is of technical analysis or of a strategy, you can then implement it based on how that pair performs. So I always tell my students, marry one pair, fall in love with it, and understand everything with this pair. So number one, what I like to do is I always like to look at my average movements on my pair. So now I identify this is the lowest area of this pair. This is the highest area of this pair. Now I like to look into between the closing of New York and closing of New York. And that's why my session breaks are so important, so that I can see day after day how this pair performs. Here the next day this was the low, and this was the high of that previous day. And the day after that, we can see again, this was the high, and this was the low of that day after that. Year after that, you can see again, this was the low, and this was the high. And let's just do one more day. This is the high, and this is the low. So now I have identified where price will go when it goes to its lowest on certain particular days, and when it will go to its highest on certain particular days. So number one, you need to identify when you look at your dates at the bottom, the 15, the 14, you need to see on what day is this? Is this on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or Monday? And you must also check the daily pip movements. Yesterday we had a lot of movement. We had about 152 pips, which is great. So if people started catching this sell from the top, they would have made a lot of money. The day after that, we only had 45 pips. The day after that, we had 97 pips. The day before that, we had 75 pips. And the day after that, we have 50 pips. Now, yesterday, there was a lot of fundamentals that had an influence in the market. So I won't just look at 152 pips and say, you know what, this is the average pip movement for this pair. So I'd rather look at maybe a solid 50 pips. So now I know whenever I trade GBP, JPY, and I'll do intraday trading, I'll only trade for about average 50 pips. If I get more than that, I'll take it. That's the one thing. Now, the second thing I'll do, in South Africa, we know the different time where certain trading sessions open. So number one, your first session will open at 1 a.m. That is Asia time. Let's identify that. And the second session will open, say about 10 o'clock. There is 10 o'clock. There we go. And then the last one will be the New York, will be about, say, 2:30, 3 o'clock. Let's do that. Now, what we can pick up from yesterday, you can see the difference in terms of the candle size when it was Asia. You could see when the London opened, and you could see when New York opened. So what I can pick up when I look at this pair, I can see that the market gets a lot of liquidity and strength between the London and New York session. And that was just based on yesterday. So let me see the day after that. So here again, Asia, London, New York.
Very nice. Yes, very nice.
So what I can pick up now is that you look at the consistency of the candle size day after day, because the bigger the candle, the more volume. So now I know which time of the day I would like to trade this pair between London and New York. So I usually trade this opening London. I look at setups and take my trade during the London session, and then when the New York session comes and the liquidity moves in, I'm already in the trade. I'm already how can I say, performing profitable, just based on looking at the data that the pair is providing. Trading is all about previous data that gives us understanding of what's happening in the present, so that we can then determine where price might move in future. So to my understanding, this is the best way for me to identify a pair and to basically understand the pair the best.
Right. Are we going to be taking any live trades today?
To be honest, no. I'm waiting on GBP, JPY. So I think from next week, Monday, I think we might start trading live. Open a live account, because one thing new traders need to understand is that people get very agitated when they take trades because they're not comfortable, because they don't have a system. You don't get agitated because you just took a trade. It's because you're not comfortable. You're hoping that the trade will perform as you would like it to perform, and that's not always good. So I think from Monday onwards, we'll take live trades, and people can actually see that you can still be normal while take trades and stuff, and still focus on other stuff.
True. Now, trader to trader, question. Do you like to trade more the European trading session or the US trading session? Or the Asian trading session, the one that happens overnight?
So to be honest, I don't trade the Asian session. I don't like it, because one thing I've seen that a lot of people might look at the smaller movements and they would like to scalp that. But I like to trade when there's volatility, when the market will provide me with 30 pips, 40, 50 pips, 60 pips within like 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't want to sit in front of the charts the whole time, because the longer I sit in front of the charts, the more likely I'll make a mistake. So I don't want to do that. So when I go in front of the charts, I would like to analyze, see an opportunity, take the trade, move as quickly out of the market as I can, and stay out. Because 80% of the movement is not always tradable. So I like to trade the opening of London, going into New York, because the moment the two sessions are overlapping, there's a lot more liquidity. And I like to also trade my bigger, trading pairs, currency pairs, because the spreads are a bit tighter, the market moves a bit slower, faster, and there's more or less manipulation in terms of fake movements as well. So to me, that all plays a big role when it comes to selecting a pair and when to trade.
You see, I'm with you up to a point, but again, from my experience, many times whatever happens on the European trading session, when New York opens, things turn around. So that could be a very clear indication of the direction of the market. Because while the New York session is closed, Europe can do whatever it wants. But because US cannot defend itself, when it comes to currency pairs and exchange rates. But once the markets open, you're going to have the orders that were placed days before, plus the new traders coming on the market. So many times I did much better on the US trading session than I did on the European trading session. Also, at some point when I was trading actively every day, I was opening like 20 trades a day, I think 10, 20 trades a day, somewhere there. I did really well for quite some time. And what I was doing, I was basically opening my trades when I was getting home from work, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, which was already 3 hours into the US trading session. So I was opening my trades then and keeping them open, of course, with a take profit and a stop loss and, all the precaution measures you can take sometimes. And they were doing really well. That's when I started not doing so well, when I wasn't so right. So I have to check again the markets and see. I don't know if it's a time a year when that works. For a few months. I don't know if it's. I don't know what triggers that. But sometimes I did much better keeping the trades open overnight. And the volatility comes down in the afternoon in the US. Because they say what they have to say. They release the data that they have to release, and then things start calming down, and then people are getting ready for the Asian markets. They're thinking how the Asian markets will counteract the movement that happened over on the US trading session. So I don't know, I'm with you up to a point, but my suggestion would be for beginner traders, for people that want to start trading, try 3 different time frames.
Definitely. That is that's the same thing I'll always advise my students as well. I always tell them that I teach you the base principles of what it is to become a trader. You need to decide what type of trader you're going to be. Will you be a high risk trader, medium risk, or low risk? Will you be a trader that's going to be actively in the market, a trader that takes 5 trades a week, or are you going to be a trader that hits to win? Are you going to be a trader that takes 1 trade? I have some of my students who swing trades. Then I have another one who scalps. And you just need to understand what it is that you need to look at in the market. And that's why backtesting is such a powerful tool, because you can always go back to look at data and see how is this particular pair operating. And another tip for any new trader is don't trade too many pairs. Stick to 1 or 2. Develop an understanding of that 2 pairs. Now you can add 1 or 2. Because if you look at all great traders in history, all of them is experts trading one particular thing. If it's Nasdaq, they only trade Nasdaq. If it's gold, they only trade gold. If it's whatever currency pair, they only trade currency pairs. But now, when you're new, you just want to be all over the place, But it's understandable, because you get adrenaline. It's exciting, Just want to take trades. You think about a trade afterwards, So whenever you trade, always make sure that you develop a solid plan. because that's the thing that's going to keep you consistent in the market. And when it comes to your risk, I always tell all my students, I can teach you risk management a certain way, but go find your own way. Because as a trader, there's certain trades you're just going to go in all in. You're just going to risk way more than what you risk on usual trades. And that's the trades that basically pay you. Not all trades is going to make you a lot of money, but there's one or two trades. I always believe there's one trade that's going to set you apart. That's going to make you money for the next 3 months to trade with low volumes. So, but I always tell people, go see and go find your own way. Don't just follow what I say. Go test what I say. Same with you, like whatever we say.
When did you start trading, Tyrone?
I started trading in 2017. I didn't trade. I was just interested in 2017. It wasn't that popular in South Africa back then. There was only a few guys, and I didn't have the money to learn. But I was like everyone else: go on the internet, go on YouTube, go read stuff, But I always looked at people that already been making money in the industry, and I could see that, if it can work for them, it can definitely work for me. So ever since, my goal was always to evolve as a trader. So my mindset is not a lot on the money aspect, but it's always to understand how the industry works, the different role players and how I can get better. For instance, if someone goes to university to go and study to become a teacher, they don't focus on the money or the salary. The same with a lawyer, a doctor. They always focus on the function they need to do, and how to get better at what they are doing. So that is how I look when it comes to trading.
It depends. It
depends, yeah. So that's the only way I look at it. How can I become better? How can I take better entries? How can I manage my trade better? How can I be more effective? I want to spend less time on the chart, maybe multiply my money more, stuff like that. And how can I use less capital to make more profit? To me, that is part of your risk management. So yeah.
True. And are you trading full time? Do you also have a day job? Because I know you have your own company. Yeah, your own firm. Is that all you do? So basically your income comes from trading, part of it, and then from your side business.
100%. So say 90% of my income comes from trading.
No way. No way.
Yeah, I swear to God, sorry. But 90% of my income comes from trading. I always tell people, trading is like any job. There's nothing special. But it's the false marketing that makes it difficult for people to adapt that type of thinking. To me, I want to live comfortable. I want to have money to buy whatever I need whenever I want it. But I also want to live in a nice environment, nice suburb. So to me, if I get that basics right, I'll make sure that I don't trade every day. So then I don't have that pressure of, I need to make 50,000, I need to make 10,000. So I wait for proper setups. I take proper setups. I take my trades. I take my losses. So yeah, I depend on trading 90%. And ever since I became a full-time trader, Andrew, a lot of my students started adapting the same thing. So a lot of them are leaving their jobs because they've been doing it right as well. Do you understand? I always have the saying, plan your exit. You can be in a job today, but if you take on trading, you need to be intentional when it comes to growing in this industry. You can't just do a course and expect things to happen. You need to basically plan your whole life around exiting whatever you're doing now, because moving into the trading is very risky. Today you might make a lot of money. Tomorrow you might hit multiple losses. Sometimes it will last for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So what you need to do is whenever you trade, take your money, put it into other things that can give you more slower returns, but more stable. And that will make it comfortable for you to trade, because now you can focus on just taking trades and not focus on, I need to make this amount or that amount. So that's very important.
Yeah, that's very well said. But the thing is, I mean, I understand you made it. Yeah, you make your money from trading. 90% of your income, let's say, comes from trading. But can other people do it as well? People without the starting capital, let's say, that you had. People without the knowledge that you have. Because, and I'll tell you why. If this is a phenomenon, yeah, that goes countrywide, okay. If you have a 9-to-5 job, you pay taxes, yeah. But what happens if we all start making money on the side, yeah, and we start avoiding those things? Can the economy survive? Because then, if millions of people will do this, And this is why the regulators were against cryptocurrencies so much. Okay. And I know they got a lot of hate, including from me. Yeah. But the average person, did not fully understand what's happening behind someone avoiding, to pay some taxes. You might have, let's say, in a country of 20 million people, what happens if 10 million all trade cryptos? No one works. Then you have another 5 million trading Forex, making their money. No one works. And you have 5 millions working. Who's going to sustain the economy? This is the downside. What do you do when you have big losses? How do you have big losses? Have you ever had big losses?
I recently had a big loss, a very big loss. I always laugh about it because I just had to go. Let me say this. I funded an account, right, with about 20,000. I grew the account to over 140,000 in the span of 2 weeks. So my goal was to say, okay, cool. If I can do 10 to 140,000, I can definitely do 140,000 to a million. But that was ego, because I just had to withdraw my money. But I had a lot of ego because to me, it's like, if I could do this, took 8 trades, only lost one at break even. Come on, let's just do this thing, now you start having all this imaginary goals and dreams. I'm gonna withdraw $1 million. I'm gonna do this, take holiday for a month. And it didn't happen that way. I actually have a screenshot, so I think on the next show I'll show it. And to me that was a very, very, very good learning experience, because when I saw I'm 100,000 down, I'm like, I only have 40,000 equity left, and I was like. I started praying. I was like, God, I won't do this again, man. Just save my account. And it didn't happen that way. And I blew the whole 140,000. I was angry for a few minutes. And I just had to step up and say, you know what? Take ownership. Number one, you were greedy. Number two, you were hitting the lot sizes. You were scaling into trades to this particular trade that wasn't running profitable. You weren't following your trading plan. What happened to taking withdrawals at certain stages of the account? Yeah. So there was a lot of things that I violated before I even got to the blowing of the account, So I took 140,000. That's almost about 11,000 USD lost in one day on GPP JPY. But
with you, I know the feeling.
So I learned from that. I always learn, and that's why I always journal, take before and afters of my trades. I always look at the state of mind I'm in whenever I take trades, because it's super important. You can't feel tired or not motivated or not feel like you want to trade, and you go and hit so much lots. I think I went in about 20 lots, 25 lots, So that hurt me a bit. But when it comes to capital and to new traders, one thing people need to understand, and I always tell that to my students, is that when I started, I didn't have capital. Because I grew up like all poor people grew up in South Africa, So I didn't have a lot of capital, but I always had this vision of me doing this thing full time, which is called Forex, because I could see people are clocking in $1,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day. And I'm like, what, we're all human. If they can do it, I can do it. So I was also doing $10, $5, $20, $30 a day. But while I was doing that, my skill set became better. And I resigned from my job with no guarantees, and I went full time in this thing. And that's a risk I took. Luckily to me, it paid off. But on my journey, one of my friends, he actually invested in me as a person. So I was lucky in that regard, because he gave me 100,000 and he said to me, you know what, go out there and go make money and change your life. And that changed my life, because I went from not just trading at $5, but I actually went to going bigger. So now I start making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day, but it's still equivalent to a $5 if you look at a $50 or $100 account if you make $20. Do you understand? So that gave me a head start, but I was also there when it comes to $5, $20, $30 a day. So yeah.
But you see, you admitted it yourself and you said it. You were a bit lucky, because you had some capital injection. You had knowledge prior to that. What would have happened, by the way, if you would have got that injection of capital a year, previously, or 6 months previously? Would you still have made money with it, or it would have been a?
I wouldn't have taken it. Because I'm really honest. Sorry?
Who says no to money, man? Come on, it's free money.
No. The thing is this, I value my friendship more than I value that 100,000. Because if I know I'm not a good trader, if I know I'm still learning and I make so many mistakes, I'm not going to take anyone's capital, because to me, it's like, you know what, why am I lying? I'm lying to myself, because taking the capital will make me uncomfortable in the first place, you know? So the first thing I had to overcome is finding myself worthy of being worthy of making a lot of money. That was the first thing. I think that's a big problem with a lot of traders. They don't feel worthy. If you work a job that pays you, say, $1,000 per month or 15,000 to 20,000 Rand per day, nowhere in life when you will just start making your monthly salary per day, it won't register. So that will also be a barrier that you need to break yourself. So until I didn't become felt like I'm worthy of it, I didn't make money until I told myself, you know what, just step up, man. You know, we can always admire, but you just need to step up. And that's what I did, and I'm grateful I did, because now things are looking different. So I'm grateful for that.
Yes. You seem happy. You seem to know what you're doing. And I'm happy when I see traders, when I talk to traders that that are doing well, and they don't say really bad things about the markets. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's not the markets that's against you. You're the one against you. Yeah, because you're believing that guy that you never met before, and you see him taking a selfie in a rented Ferrari, you know, and he tells you, deposit money with me, you're going to buy a Ferrari as well. So
that's
you can hear it.
In my complex, in the state I'm staying, there's a lot of specialists and doctors. So all of them come with their fancy cars, and they always like to make a noise when they come out of the office. But what I wanted to say is that it's true that you said, like, trading is I always say it's tough. It's the toughest, easiest money you will ever make. You can't use tough and easy in one sentence, but it's the toughest, easiest money, because you wake up every day, you don't know what the day is holding. You don't know, will you have your biggest day, your worst day, you know? Like, there was a time where for 3 to 4 months, I didn't make money. You know, and I always had to remind myself, and this is the funniest thing, like, I always had to remind myself that you're still a good trader. You're still a great trader, you know? So that was the toughest thing I had to do. So what I will usually do is, with all my big trading days, I'll always take screenshots. When I take good entries on a trade, I'll always take screenshots. Why do I do that? When I feel down, I can always go back to that screenshot and say, okay, if you're such a bad trader, how could you done that? How could have you done that? You made 70,000 in one day. How is that possible if you're a bad trader? You withdrew over 300,000 in 1 month. How can you be so bad if that is what you have done so far? So I think it's always, the mind is a very powerful thing. And one of the things I always tell all my students is that work on your personal development as you work hard on the charts, because this is not a normal industry. And I always tell to all my students, this is an industry more than 6.5 trillion USD per day. Like, if you look at Nike, over how many years they're just at 1 trillion. If you look at so many other industries, if you look at your sports, all things that people make such big hype about, they don't compare when it comes to the financial market. So I always tell them, like, whenever you come here, you need to grow up immediately, because it will eat you alive and it will spit you out. And you will say, you know what, no, this industry doesn't work. Because whenever people come to the industry, they come with all their financial needs. I did that myself. When I started off, I came with, like, I want to leave my job. I don't like my job. And because I hate my job, I need to do trading. I speak to people on a daily basis. What is the quickest way I can make 100,000 so I can settle my debt? Unfortunately, I can't help with quick money. You know, this is a process. We're going to do everything slow. We're going to understand, get comfortable, develop a plan, and
lose a few times, probably.
Not just lose, blow a few accounts, cry a few times, regret a few times. And yeah, so it takes time. Like, I've been doing this thing for almost 4 years now, say 4 or 5 years, and I'm seeing a light now only.
Yeah.
I always tell people, you go to university, you study for 4 years to work for 120,000, 150,000 salary. When you graduate in the financial market as becoming a trader, I always tell people, a lot of people partake in the market. They give money to the market. There's only a few who can call themselves traders. The moment you become a trader after 5 years, sky's the limit. Nothing is impossible because you have seen a lot of things. Not a lot of people survive.
This is exactly what I was selling to my clients when I was an account manager. They were asking me, so when am I gonna reach financial freedom? Since then, I hate this word, financial freedom. And I'm like, mate, if you can make it through the last year, through the first year, then you might achieve it. But prepare for a year of hell. You're gonna make money, you're gonna lose money. Sometimes you're gonna lose more than you make. It's not gonna be okay. But if you make it through the first year and you learn from your mistake, you're gonna make it in the financial markets. So
definitely. Like to me, I left my job in December. Just listen to this. This is actually funny. I left my job in 2018 December. I resigned. I'm like, I'm gonna go do this thing full time because by that time I was making $100 to $100, $150 per week, $200. And if I had to look at that money I make on the side, I'm like, this is almost equivalent to what I'm working for. So I'm like, if I can do this part time, what can happen if I do this full time? COVID happened in South Africa in March 2020. And at that particular time, the markets were reacting to that. And that was the first time I saw the market go into panic stage. You always hear about it. It maybe happened in 2008. 2008, I didn't trade. And it happened then. I couldn't react. The market was so many people are infected. So many, it was so overpowered. I don't even know what word to use. But the market was just dropping. And it wasn't respecting my particular way of trading. And I almost lost all my money. So that was, to me, you know what, that's why I always tell myself, you always need to be updated and you always need to evolve like the market evolves. Otherwise, you're not going to make it as a trader. Your strategy might work now, might not work tomorrow. So that's why you must always study, always backtest, always see what is in the market. I always call it like a specialist. So when you take your car to the mechanic, you might say, my car is broken. The mechanic say, no, you need a new exhaust or maybe you need a new plug. So when you look at your strategy, you need to always update certain things to always stay ahead, because otherwise you will look like, no, this thing isn't working for me anymore. But maybe your strategy is a bit outdated because now the market might give 2 spinning tops, in the past just rejected it. So there's a lot of things that influence it, but it's really interesting in the industry and anything is possible. I know of people, I've seen people that's lives has been just transformed by this industry, and luckily I'm one of those people as well, So yeah, there's life.
I'm looking forward to see your live trading when you're gonna feel comfortable to start it, and whenever the markets will give you the chance as well, because I know it. You can say I'm gonna start trading live at 5 o'clock, but if the market doesn't give you the opportunity, just do it for the sake of doing it. Right. This was it for today. It was an easy one. See, it's easier when it's 2 of us. It's even better when it's more of us in most in life. Right. This was it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Let's hope tomorrow the market will give you something to trade on. And until then, if you decide to trade, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.
Thank you. Keep well. Bye-bye.
Take care. Have a good one. Right, ladies, gentlemen, this was it. We had Taran Schultz with us. Unfortunately, the markets did not give us any real opportunities of opening any live trades at this specific time, but it will happen. It will happen, and when it happens, it would be great. Now, we're going to have to end the stream for today. We're going to come back live at 2000 hours CET, so in exactly 2 hours from now, with an incendiary interview, Meet the Lawyers. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to end the stream now, but we will come back in exactly 2 hours with the lawyers, guys. What are we going to be talking about? It's going to be amazing. I'm not going to tell you. Tune in and find out. This was it for now. See you in a couple of hours from now. Until then, take care.